Hey guys, Brady here. Well, it's come to this. I've been doing this show for about 1 year. Ever since November when I started my actual channel instead of He-Man 1010's channel. I still do work on He-Man's channel, 1010's channel. And you could actually check out, I did a video about Byleth and Smash Brothers and Terry and Smash Brothers. Go check those out if you wish to. So, 1996 was a weird year for everything. Even though we had some awesome stuff like Super Mario 64 and the actual launch of the Nintendo 64, movies don't compare to video games like Super Mario 64. Movies like Biodome, Ghosts of Mississippi, and trying to think of other bad movies from 96. And, movies like Jack with Robin Williams, Ghosts of Mississippi, and Biodome all seem to suck. But then we have some classic hits like Beavis and Butthead Do America, and yes, that was released in 1996. And there was also James and the Giant Peach, and frick, even the reboot of Romeo and Juliet, a movie that came out in 1968, actually got a reboot in 96. And that did well for some reason. But sometimes there are bizarre ideas. This is where Space Jam comes in. Now, Space Jam is one of the most hated Looney Tunes movies in recent years, with a premise so terribly despisable. And just look up the Rotten Tomato scores. Critics panned this film hard. They thought it was clunky, stupid, and sloppy. But, other than that, you don't know any better, honestly. Now, don't point your gun at my head. Let me explain. First of all, I have to emphasize, I do like this film. It's got some nice ideas, it's creative, and it keeps you guessing the whole way through on what's going to happen to these lovable characters. And no, they don't die. Don't think that. But other than that, there are a lot of stupid things. Like, Michael Jordan, what are you doing here? Where's freaking No. I should have said Shaquille. Because Shaquille, he's not a good actor either. With Kazam, that also released in 96. But hey, at least Shaquille turned in a decent performance with Kyrie Irving and his buddies on Uncle Drew, and that did fine, apparently. And so, naturally, there was Looney Tunes, right? And then there was basketball. Both pretty popular at the time. But not as much as you'd think they were when they were in 96. Looney Tunes was kind of dormant, especially after the release of other Looney Tunes classic films like Tweety's High Flying Adventure. Nobody remembers that DVD movie. And to be honest, the modern stuff sort of is crap. Like Looney Tunes Back. Looney Tunes Back in Action. Nobody likes that movie. Not even me. I think it's boring and clunky, especially with Brendan Fraser. But Steve Martin. It's kind of funny. And I liked the Looney Tunes show, but before we get into this acclaimed to be over-the-top tripe, I'll tell you what it's being based off of. And yes, it's being based off of something. It's not Looney Tunes, and it's not basketball. It's actually based off of a Super Bowl commercial with Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan. And I guess someone at Warner Brothers was like, wait a second, money. Thus Space Jam was born, much to our everlasting dismay. So why does this movie get too much panned reviews and pannedness? But yeah, so why does it get panned in the end? So let's talk about it. The plot of this movie is Michael Jordan going through his everyday life, and he's like, I'm not going to play basketball anymore. Frick you guys. And then he goes, that's not how he talks in the film. I mean, he's retired nowadays, but he was a pretty big player back on the Bulls. Especially in the 90s. But then he retired. Because I won't be with my family. And no, I don't sound like Mr. T. That voice is for Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. So he's like, I'm going to play baseball. See how I do with it. Michael, have you not run out of ideas already? You're clearly a stupid person. So he plays baseball for a while and even dabbles in some golf. And then he goes, oh, wait, I forgot to mention the antagonist. Oh boy, you can't wait. This antagonist runs an amusement park. And yes, they run an amusement park. Along with his sons, nephews, or cousins? I don't know. The movie doesn't explain. So they send him out to Earth to take talents from popular basketball players. I'm not even going to attempt to list their names, but yeah. So then they turn into these muscle men known as the Monstars. Tell me if that pun doesn't work. Let me know. Okay, so Michael finally goes to not Toontown. Hashtag Roger Rabbit sequel. I recently finished watching Roger Rabbit, and it is pretty freaking great, actually. It does well for all these lovable cartoon characters. And so, Bugs Bunny's like, we need your help! Because this means war. And thus, they start training for basketball. I was going to say baseball, but nope, that's incorrect. And then he's like, you guys are nuts. There's a lot of funny lines that Michael Jordan delivers in this film. Like, I'm not. And then my mind instantly explodes as you guys may know that there's this certain character in the movie originating from this movie named Lola. She instantly caused controversy on whether people want to do it with a bunny. Leave your fan fictions away from me. Thank you. And also leave your creative comments down below. I'm sorry. I'm not going to milk that joke dry, guys. Don't worry. There's plenty more where that came from. So, and apparently she's very good at basketball. Like, really good. And so, we finally cut to the basketball tournament. And it's kind of surreal that we just jumped a billion minutes into the film and we are already at the basketball tournament. Yippee-ki-yay. Sorry for the zoom-ins, guys. It's just I'm trying something new here. I've got, this new HD feature on my camera that I'm trying to test out. So what happens? We go through countless shots and countless timeouts. Timeout! And then the Looney Tunes decide we need some good stuff. Not the kind of good stuff you made me thinking, but we need some water. Yes. They think that water is some sort of a magical potion, a magic juice that gives them strength, speed, and agility. Wow. Isn't that the dumbest idea of all time? There you go. It's the dumbest idea of all time. So then, in the end, they end up winning the basketball tourney, ending Space Jam. This whole movie was about basketball. So in the end, Space Jam may not hold up for you, but it kind of does for me. Now, don't type your angry comments. Let me explain. This is a experience that you have to go through if you're a critic. This is also an experience that you can go through or not go through if you are indeed a moviegoer, a normal moviegoer like me. But this is 1996. They could have come up with something totally original. That's saying a lot when you got movies like Dunstan Checks In. In the end, Space Jam is okay. It's not perfect. It's not bad. It's just okay. But it did cause a lot of controversy with Lola. So if you guys need more, I'm ready to take it. I'm ready to take your comments. I'll delete them anyways. See you guys next time for probably a discussion or something else. Sayonara, peeps. Take care.